everyone. Today we are talking about 4 things that I am not bringing with me into the new year. Things that you may want to consider leaving behind as well. My name is Joy and I'm from the blog Aging Well with Joy. On my channel and on my blog, we discuss beauty and wellness for middle-aged women. If that's you, please consider subscribing and joining me. The 4 things that we are talking about today are things that I have really been focusing on leaving behind in my past and not carrying with me into this new year. And the reason that I'm focusing on these 4 things is because I believe these are the things that block me and potentially you from being our very best selves. So, number 1, regret. Although sometimes regret can bring about good things such as asking for forgiveness and making better choices in the future, I'm talking about regret over things that we have either done or have not done that are in our past that are not within our ability to change. Carrying those things with us forward as a burden is not benefiting us. And this is something that I have struggled with a lot. I am a person who feels things deeply, and I tend to carry those things with me throughout my life, even when they are no longer serving my best interest. So this year, going into 2023, I am leaving regret behind. I am no longer looking back at those choices I've made and thinking, why didn't I make a better choice? Why didn't I choose a different path? And the truth is, if I had done that, if I had chosen a different path, this would not be my current reality. Every single thing that we have gone through in our lives has led us to where we are at this moment. All of those things were experiences that we can use for growth, to make ourselves better people, to learn from and make better choices in the future. So ideally, we are carrying with us the learning experiences from those situations, what we've learned from them, how we can make better decisions in the future, but leave behind the actual regret that weighs us down and eats away at our soul. There is no reason that we should allow something from our past to steal our joy today. Remember that your past can only control you if you let it, and it does not define who you are now. Number 2, procrastination. So I tend to be a fairly organized person, and I don't ever try purposely to procrastinate on things. However, I, like everybody else, have a natural tendency to push off the hard things until later, as late as I can. So, for example, if I go into work and I have a list of 50 things, I find that I very often will do the easiest things first and push those hardest things toward the end of the day. But that's not really ideal. What happens is when we do the easiest things on our list first, yes, it gets them out of the way, but it leaves us with the hardest things to do either towards the end of our day or it pushes it entirely into a different day. And it's like the drop of rain, right? That becomes a river, that becomes the ocean. You know, if you let those things slide, what was once just a drop of rain, just a very small issue, grows and grows and takes on a life of itself. And it doesn't even need to be a life in itself as if the problem has grown. A lot of times this happens within our own minds, right? We take something that we really could accomplish very simply, and in our minds, because it's this difficult thing, it blows it up out of proportion, and the longer we push it off, the more out of proportion that thing becomes. So do the hard things first. Don't procrastinate. Make yourself a list every day. Put your top 3 things. These are what I absolutely have to get done today in order to feel productive and successful. And then check those things off as you do them, and do them first. I'll just show you what I'm currently using. So this is my habit tracker, and every month, you know, it has a little quote. I'm all about inspirational quotes. And then it has a place where I can track my daily habits, my weekly habits, and my monthly habits. This is extremely useful because I can literally see at the end of my month how I have spent my time every single day. I can look at this list and know what I can't procrastinate on because I need to check it off. I also use a physical planner, like I mentioned, and I just love to be able to list out what I have to do, to look at it all at once, And this one also has one where I can check off daily, weekly, and monthly goals as well. So I use the two of those things in conjunction, use it to organize my life and keep myself from pushing important things off. Number 3, overspending. Now, this one can be a little tricky. I am not saying that everybody's overspending or that you shouldn't buy the things you want. Not at all. What I'm saying is, for me personally, one of the things I struggle with is not buying more than I actually need. So a great example of this is I tend to buy a lot of beauty skincare products. I love skincare. I am 46 years old. I am consistently working on improving my skin from damage I did many, many years ago. So I buy a lot of skincare, and I also watch a lot of skincare videos on YouTube, right? And I've got influencers constantly recommending things to me that they love. And of course, I'm naturally drawn to those things because it's people I trust, opinions I trust. So I then go and purchase those things. And again, nothing wrong with that at all. But I am working on not purchasing those things unless I actually need them. So for example, if I have a serum I'm using at night, I am not buying that serum that I really want until the serum that I'm using is completely gone. Whereas in the past, I may have 2 or 3 different serums going at the same time because I have purchased things that I wanted but didn't necessarily need yet. One of the other ways I have really worked on this in my own life is scaling my wardrobe way down. If any of you watch Jennifer L. Scott over at The Daily Connoisseur, she has the 10-item wardrobe. And I love her channel, love it. And although I don't adhere to necessarily a 10-item wardrobe, I do take that basic philosophy and scale my wardrobe way down. So I work in an office 5 days a week. So I try to scale my wardrobe down so that I maybe have 4 or 5 outfits that are in rotation constantly. And then in addition to that, I also have my outfits that I wear for leisure, for the gym, for church, etc. But I can't tell you how much it helped me when I got rid of all the clutter in my closet. I used to be someone who would walk into a shopping mall and buy clothes just because they were on sale. I liked the color, it was on sale, I bought it. And I didn't necessarily need it. And what that left me with was a very cluttered wardrobe. And I think that can symbolize our lives sometimes, right? We just collect things in our mind that we don't necessarily need. We collect things in our lives that we don't necessarily need. And I think that all of us in the world today are trying to become more aware of being sustainable and buying sustainably and using things sustainably, right? Now, I do keep clothes in storage that I rotate in and out, but that's for a whole nother video. My point is, if you scale down and you only buy things you really need, it's going to help you declutter your mind and your life and also your finances. And number 4, this is a big one, guys. Guilt over past failures. Huge, right? Because guilt eats us alive. And you know, this can be in anything for you. This can be a job that you lost at one point that was beyond your control and you feel like you failed. This could be, you know, a weight loss goal that you didn't hit last year. That's one for me personally. It can be anything that you're feeling and carrying around with toxic feelings of guilt about. This sort of goes back to point 1 again, right? If you can't change it, don't dwell on it. If you can change it, then change it. Make the choices this coming year that will lead to that thing or that person that you want to be, and leave behind the guilt that is associated with the past, okay? So if you didn't hit a goal that you had set for yourself in 2022, don't carry guilt over that into 2023. That is not going to serve you. What will serve you is making the choices today about the kind of year you want to have in 2023. So I am letting go of guilt. Yes, I failed at hitting some of my goals last year, but going forward, I know what I want to do with my year. I know what my plan is. I know who I want to be, and that is the direction I'm going, leaving behind the guilt. Okay, my friends, I believe that this can be the best year of our lives this year, 2023. So let's leave behind the junk in the past that doesn't serve us and work towards being the people that we want to be this coming year in 2023. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye-bye.